You are now listening to the Too Short for the League podcast, hosted by Caleb Kingston.
Hey everyone, it's Paulie. I'm with Caleb, and this is just a little short mic piece before filming his amazing Too Short for League podcast. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. It feels weird being like the other end of this.
Now, obviously the podcast has gone through a lot of changes since its initial establishment, but what was your initial thought and concept for this podcast?
Yeah, so how it started, I was literally working at Rebel Sport and I sold someone some shoes and like I didn't like him. And I think I messaged Simo and I was like, let's just start like a basketball podcast or something. Literally within an hour he came up with a name, and like as soon as he sent that name through, I'm like, holy crap, like, that's sick. That night I went home, made all the graphics, so like the logo. I used to be a graphics designer, so I made the logo and everything.
Still a very talented graphics designer, might I add.
Do as a little hobby. And then a couple of weeks later, he went and bought all the equipment because I have no money, and he had money.
Fantastic teamwork.
Yeah. And then we set up in my bedroom on that couch, that purple couch that everyone knows so well. And then we talked basketball, but we didn't really niche it. So, like, we had life things, girls, Tinder, NBA, Olympics, NBL 1. Like, it wasn't really niche, and we were just doing it for fun.
You were finding your feet.
Yeah, and we had a majority of the people that would listen just for us chit-chatting because they knew us. And then we had some people listening for basketball stuff. Like when we had Parsons here, he said he listened to it previously, but then was like, this isn't really basketball, but then there's also basketball in there. And then you were coming after me for like months, I think.
I was chasing you hard.
Yeah. Couldn't commit to it at first.
Well, understandable, because, I mean, you and Simo had really created something special, and that would have been a very tough decision to go, hey, do we continue with this? Do we pause on it? And nothing to be taken lightly. But sorry, continue.
I didn't know what direction I wanted to take it. If I wanted to niche it into basketball, but I didn't know how people would take to that. I knew Simo couldn't do it with time, and now that he's with the Redbacks as well.
Congratulations.
Yep. And then I was in the hospital, and you hit me up saying you had some sponsors, and I was like, you know what, I'm not really doing anything. Why not? Said yeah, and then Simo, he was like, go for it, mate.
Thank you, Simo. Big thank you.
Yeah, and then we've been interviewing guests ever since, and it's grown a lot more since we've niched it out as well.
Now, your very first interview, that was with
Nix.
Coach Nix.
Yeah.
And within a couple of weeks, the NBL 1 wrote an article on Coach Nix, cited from your podcast.
Yeah.
That had to be extremely exciting.
Yeah. I don't know. Me and Simo did the podcast for about a year. I didn't get any sites from like NBL 1. We had interviewed Shaq Mirage, Lockie Bertram, Devin Craig and all that before, but nothing, hadn't got any traction like that before. And then they quoted us, Nixie, in the article.
Yes, they quoted you.
Yeah, saying it was from here.
And your show.
And then they did the same with Taylor Young.
So, well, let's back that up a bit. So, prior to Taylor Young's press release from the NBL 1, they'd been in contact with us asking if it was okay to use the podcast, and then of course it drops, and then everybody is resharing this story. Not just the main players, but everybody that you know is in the basketball community overseas. They're all sharing your interview. Yeah,
and then they're also commenting, like tagging me in that. The NBL 1 actually messaged me saying they were huge fans of it as well. Then they followed my personal account as well as the actual Instagram account. So, I'm big time now. I'm just kidding.
No. Let's take a pause here for a second. You've got to be congratulated for the professionalism with which you conduct yourself. I've mentioned this off camera, but also what you're providing the audience. Like, you're asking really important questions to these amazing people that probably would never get asked, and you're documenting a part of history. So you're doing something special here. So hats off, full credit to you. And let me ask you a question. Who would be your top 5 guests that you would love to get? Let's put this out there.
If we're keeping it NBL 1.
NBL 1.
Marty Nelson.
Yes.
Obviously. I've tried to get him a few times. He said yes before, but we just can't really
work out time.
He's so busy. Brian Michaels. He said yes as well, but then he's gone to Hong Kong.
Yes.
Given himself an injury, starting up his own business as well. So, like, I don't know. Hopefully I can get him eventually. To be honest, for other three, I haven't really thought too much about. Like, I'm sort of just going with the flow, and like whoever comes, and like whoever I see like throughout the season, that'll be a sick guest to have.
What would be a good coach that you'd love to question or interview?
I've already done it.
Oh, you've done. Yeah, you've done the best.
Yeah, Nixie and Matt Parsons.
What about Janelle Morley?
Yeah, as someone from the women's side as well.
Yes,
that would be great.
Now, moving up, we have asked the Perth Lynx media department if we can get an interview with someone. If there was one player or athlete or two that we could get a pick of, who would they be, do you think? Who would you like?
On the Perth Lynx, honestly, it'd be anyone. I would like to grow not just NBL 1 West, but also the women's side.
Yes.
Ideas on how to grow. I don't have ideas on how to. I know.
Well, it's by having them on your podcast and giving them a platform.
Yeah, but I have some ideas on how we can grow the women's basketball. Not even just basketball, but it would apply to all sports. I'm not going to say it here. I'll save it for the podcast.
Hang on a sec. So this could be an exclusive. We could be getting a media company here from Caleb with a number of productions. Very exciting.
Well, I have an idea on how we can grow the women's side. But yeah, in terms of guests, like specifically, like anyone that says they want to come on, I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll do some research about them and figure out. Like, I know we got an exciting young gun coming on soon.
You've done extremely well at lining up the guests.
Yeah, an exciting young gun that will be coming on, which I'm excited for.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. Well, listen, Caleb, thank you so much for your time. We're going to cut it short, but it's probably actually perfect that we cut it short so we didn't give too much away. Congratulations once again, and I'll just say on a personal note, I've thoroughly enjoyed working for you and helping to produce your podcast. I've learned a great deal. I love the professionalism which you display, the creativity, and it's been an absolute joy. So thank you so much for allowing me to be on your team. I really appreciate it. All right, we better go, guys. We've got a guest here. Caleb, peace out.
Thank you.
Thank you to the following sponsors. GoCone, strive for getting 1% better every day. So the Hull can face your fears.